Commissioner, what were your first impressions of the MLR and the sport of rugby?
Well, honestly, I was very impressed by the progress a young league like Major League Rugby had made, through their first kind of 2.5 seasons. You look at the history of professional leagues and going even with the big boys, NFL, NBA, what have you, there are just a lot of missteps you make very early, and this league is solid. It's grown in franchise numbers, from 7 to 9 to 12 and even more for the coming season. So I was very, very impressed. Honestly, I didn't know a lot about rugby. I'd been to one rugby match prior to accepting the job as the commissioner, but really, really enjoyed getting to know the sport. I'm still learning it, still learning the calls, and, everybody's around me trying to coach me up a little bit. But so far, it's been really, really great.
What are your long-term visions for rugby in North America?
We have to really grow at grassroots. We got to, start selling out our stadiums. We've got to continue to get better media coverage. We got to continue our national television presence, and we have to add, some great commercial partners to our roster. And I think that's kind of a near-term kind of horizon for us.
Is a North American World Cup a chance in the next 10 years?
Sure, why not? Why not, right? I mean, I've been a part of some discussions already about 2027 and 2031. And, the U.S., if you look around the world, the United States and North America are kind of the most underdeveloped, as far as rugby goes. They're the biggest opportunity zones, if you will, for world rugby. And so, I think we have a great shot. I think we need to take care of some of our business at home. We've all read about some of the trials and tribulations of USA Rugby that they've gone through recently. And I think we have to demonstrate that we not only deserve it, but that we can handle it and make it a marquee event. I mean, look at what Japan went through in order for them to get it, and look at the success, they had after a couple of World Cups previous, if you remember, they got beat as a country 100-0, so that's how quickly it can turn. And I think, the United States and North America, Canada, what have you, would be a great place for the World Cup.
You made the tough decision to call off the 2020 MLR season earlier than many other professional sports. Can you walk us through that process and your commitment to honor the payment of the player salaries for the rest of 2020?
Sure. Honestly, it wasn't that hard a decision. The first decision we made is we took a 30-day hiatus, and we're all privy to all the news going on in sports. I was very much privy to what the NBA was going through because of my background and being so many years in that league, and was able to consult with some people, including Mark Cuban, who I used to work with. And he was getting really good intel. And I told him we were thinking about doing it. He said, pull the trigger. Said, I think it's a great decision. And then, I guess the silver linings that came out of that is that, the first one is we have 300 plus days until February 13th of 2021, which would be our opening weekend next year, in order to really work with our member teams on the basics of sports marketing, of how to sell tickets and how to sell sponsorships and how to market and how to have great broadcast agreements and how to be a great community citizen. And that this league's never had that runway. So that's the first silver lining. And then secondly, kudos really goes to our board of governors, because pretty much to a man, we made the decision to pay all the players their full contracts. And that did a lot of things. It did a lot for their opinion of Major League Rugby. And for our European players that went home, many of them that played in World Cups for their country, they're able to talk to their mates about how they were treated by Major League Rugby. And that has, really good waves of positivity towards what we're trying to do here in North America and Major League Rugby.